In Unity, we have a song that I had forgotten about until last evening when I was talking to a friend about the activity of the day. He called to talk to me last evening. And as we were talking, I was reminded of this song that we used to sing quite a bit. And we need to bring back. Carmen Mosier, we make our own world. We make our own world wherever we are. Our happiness is of our own making. You guys remember that song? Any of you? No? I'm going to go back to some of these songs in the hymnal. We do a little bit. And this is one that we definitely need to bring back. I want to break into song so badly. You don't know how badly I want to do that.
Do it, Twyla, do it.
Nah, we're not going to go there today at this moment in time. We make our own world wherever we are. Our happiness is of our own making. We make our own world wherever we are. Our happiness then is for the taking. Our world goes with us as we talk and walk along each day. Our world can be a heaven or a hell. Our attitudes will say. Let me reread that sentence. Our world can be a heaven or hell. Our attitudes will say. We make our own world wherever we are. Let's make it happy. Let's live in beauty. We make our own world wherever we are. Keep thinking happy will make a new world. Kelly, that's page 359.
I've already got it. I'm looking at it.
There was a request that you sing that as in that conversation. But we make our own world, don't we? We make our own world. We get to choose how we're going to feel, how we're going to show up. Now, stuff happens, right? Stuff definitely happens. And we get to make that choice to pay attention when things are happening. How many of you, this is just kind of you don't even have to answer me, but just within yourself, that within the state of not just our country, but humanity in the world, right? There's a lot of shifting and changing and transformation going on. Would you agree with that? There's a lot of complexity and a lot of division. And that's just putting it mildly. Within this, that has been going on, it seems, in an exaggerated way over the last several years. How many of you are treading water? This is just for you to answer for yourself. How many of you are treading water, and how many of you has this caused an acceleration in reaching for a higher truth? Of finding a way to make your own world, to be aware of making your own world. We always have the choice whether or not to allow the division to drag us down or to lift us up. And how quickly do you catch yourself if you find yourself being drugged down? So I just want to say personally, right before service, I allowed my ego to take me down. And I caught it immediately. Now, in the past, absolutely more than likely, I would not have caught it as quickly. Egos are going to be egos. Humanity is going to be humanity. But if we're paying attention, if we are dedicated to being a blessing to the world, letting love and light be the force, and we make our own world wherever we go. If we are dedicated to living the principles of truth, of love, which the very basic teachings of Jesus, truth, love, justice, compassion, equality, equanimity. If we are committed to walking that walk, then I say we need to pay attention when we need to pay attention, right? Not to the point that we wear ourselves out with micromanaging every single thought and moment, but to be loving enough to ourselves so that we can catch ourselves when we find ourselves slipping into behavior where we just don't want to be. And please hear me, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have emotions along the way, because emotions are what help wake us up, right? We don't have to like everything that is going on. I don't care what your belief system is. There's enough in here for all. But we get to pay attention if we choose how to show up in the world so that we can truly be this light that is, it's calling us forward, that's dragging us forward. Some of us kicking and screaming, but the light is accelerating. There could not be this much division without great light, because shadows are being uncovered. Whatever that shadow is for you, I'm not here to define what that is. I know for me, but only you can speak to you. I come here on Sunday morning to be your spiritual leader and to share hope and love and possibility and the truth in the best way that I know through me, through my God, through my guidance, to know how to inspire and bring us all into a greater place of understanding. A YouTube video that I was watching this week by Suzanne Giesman. She's a medium. I've talked to you about her before. She was a retired Navy admiral. She was at, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating. She, a Navy admiral, her husband was also a naval officer. She was working in the Pentagon during 9/11. The other things, I mean, she served in Panama. I think, anyway, I'm not going to try and go into her bio. But she was a naval admiral. She was military and good at her job. I don't remember if it was after she had retired or not, but her stepdaughter, her pregnant stepdaughter, was killed by lightning. By a strike of lightning, just out of the blue, struck by lightning. And of course she and the baby were lost. Through that deep, deep loss, Suzanne came to a place where she wanted to communicate with her stepdaughter, and she began that process. And it opened up in her a place of deep spirituality that I don't think she had understood before. Do you see how things can happen in a flash? That shift. And when you listen to her, I really enjoyed listening to her. She's so centered and just grounded. And she was talking in this one video that I was watching about the coherence and the resonance. And you hear me talk about coherence and resonance quite a bit through my training with heart math. That science of listening and looking at the heart differently and how the heart communicates with us and through us, and the power of opening so that we may hear and know. I remember once one of my heart math coaches defined it as putting God on the street. Putting God on the street. Finding that breath through your heart. So when the world happens, as the world does, I often go to this Bible verse, which you have heard me use before. Jesus talking to the disciples. He was actually talking to Peter. What is that to thee? Follow thou me. What is that to thee? Follow thou me. One of my mentors shared this verse with me in a very clear and loving way one time when I was complaining about someone and something that was going on in my life that was just causing me distress and quite a bit of disturbance. And she just brought it home to me. Get in your own lane. You're watching this, you're observing this, but you of yourself have no control over it. What is that to thee? Follow thou me. So what does follow thou me mean? Coming from the words that we were told that Jesus said to Peter in Unity, that is, follow thou me. Follow the Christ consciousness. Follow that Christ consciousness. Follow that divine I am. Keep our eye focused on love, on compassion. Sit quietly, take a breath, and ask, what is mine to do? What is mine to do? What do I have power over? Me of myself, in this body, with this heart, with this mind, with this spiritual consciousness. What is mine to do? And what we can do is to find that coherence, that harmony, that unity of all life. First within ourselves, and then within the world. What is that to thee? Follow thou me. In Unity we teach one of our core teachings, the law of mind action. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Again, we make our own world. When we identify with the divine idea of life within us, we experience an ever-increasing awareness of all good things. You are what you think. What you see is what you get. And we know that love begets love. Love creates more love. Violence creates more violence. The threat of violence creates more violence. The threat of love creates more love. Where do you want to land? How do you want your body to feel? How do you want your mind to feel? Again, I feel like we are here on this planet right now, in this universe right now, at this time of great change, of life and possibility and love. And I know I feel like I say that I give the same talk every week. But right now I think we need it. We need to remember how powerful we are. You, each and every one of you, need to remember how powerful you are just with your breath alone. However you say your prayers, whether you use beseeching prayers or affirmative prayers, what is your intention behind those prayers? If your prayers are of, oh my God, dear God, help me, maybe in that moment that is what you need. And in that time, when you are praying that prayer of beseeching, you are putting your power outside of yourself, rather than remembering that you are also the ocean of God. You are not a mere drop in the ocean. You are not a mere drop in the ocean. You are the ocean. There is no separation. If there is no separation, then you are the whole ocean. But we've got ourselves compartmentalized in these little precious bodies. But we get to wake up and we get to remember that we are more than that. Now that does not mean to put, please hear me correctly, to put the weight of everything on your shoulders alone. But you are one of the widgets in the great machine. That is still the great machine. That's how important you are. That's how powerful you are. That makes it sound like if you're not a drop in the ocean, you're the ocean, then how can you be a widget in the machine when you are the machine? Gets a little crazy when you put all the language with it, doesn't it? But I think you get what I mean. You are powerful. You are amazing. Jessica took this picture from a cave with the light coming in. And doesn't it feel sometimes like we're in this dark cave? But there's always light shining in from somewhere. So when you feel like you're in this darkness, focus on that light. Find your breath. Find a moment of silence. I am light, I am light, I am light. And there is light. I used this last week or the week before. Peace is not passive. It asks something of each of us. It calls us to be steady, to be brave, and to keep showing up with open hearts, even when it feels like our effort won't make a difference. That's an important sentence. Even when it feels like our effort won't make a difference. It does. We raise the vibration. Martha Smock. Divine love is never mistrusted and never mistrust. Divine love never mistreats. It's never mistreated. Divine love breaks down barriers. Divine love is not overpowered by personality. Divine love meets in agreement with the best in others and reveals the good in others. Divine love, that highest quality of God love, that the divine, the absolute, in absolute reality, there is only love. This is where we want to focus our thoughts and our feelings and allow our behaviors to come from that highest level of love, of unity and life, and the promise of goodness for all people. For all people. Not to be placed as targets, not to be preyed upon by predators, but to raise our consciousness into the oneness of divine love. And to find a place within you each day, to take a moment to breathe in that place where you can trust that this is the truth. And so I want to close with a centering prayer by Martha Smock that I have edited into an affirmative centering prayer. I am centered in presence and power. Nothing can disturb me or dismay me. In darkness, light shines. In the midst of uncertainty, light reveals the way. I am centered in love. I feel warmed and comforted. Centered in love, I look at the world with eyes of love. I express love. I draw loving and happy experiences to myself. I am centered in strength. No hurt or unhappiness can stay with me. Centered in strength, I am lifted out of sadness. I am set free from fear. Strength fills me and joy overflows me. I am centered in life. Every part of my body feels the touch of healing life. Centered in life, I feel quickened and restored. I feel the infilling of changeless eternal life. I am healed. Let this be your prayer. This is who you are. This is so who you are. This is who we are. Oh, so how do we get there? We just simply have to stop and take a moment. Find our focus in whatever way you do. Whether it's through heart-focused breathing or whatever practice is yours. Change the trajectory of the negativity that you may still be holding on to. If you have found a way to work through it, but it still comes up, then you get to take that other breath and you get to try again and remember. There is light. I am light. There is love. I am love. And through that we are healed. And so it is.